Hey, it's Jeff Zito, and thanks for checking out another episode of the Celebrity Jobber podcast, or actually number 3 today on the Apple Podcast Music Interviews chart in Colombia. So I thought that was interesting to point out. We're available on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, wherever you listen to podcasts. So please subscribe. Could hit that subscribe button and possibly be number 3 here in the United States. Also, would love a 5-star rating, and if you could leave a comment/review, it's very helpful. So I thank you. I appreciate it. You can also follow celebrity_jobber_podcast on Instagram or youtube.com/the@celebrityjobber. And if you want to check out all of our past guests and episodes, we got a lot of them, almost 200. You can go to celebrityjobber.com. Who were these people before they were famous? I mean, my guest today has kind of come out of nowhere. Even though he's not an overnight success, he's been at this for a long time. But I remember it was just about 5 years when I first heard of this guy. Definitely didn't know how to pronounce his name, but I do now, because he was the highest grossing stand-up comedian in 2024 with over 1 million tickets sold across his shows. He's got a new movie out called The Breadwinner. But who was he before all this happened to him? What did he do for work? What was his first job, his big break? What did his parents do for work? We're going to ask him all of those questions, and I'm pretty excited because he is a pretty big star. Comedian Nate Bargatze is my guest this week on Celebrity Jobber.
The Celebrity Jobber podcast with Jeff Zito. If you like what you hear, please subscribe, give a 5-star rating, and leave a review. Check out all our past episodes on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you pod. What if these celebrities weren't famous? What would they have become? What was their first job? We're about to find out.
Jeff, meet Nate.
Hello, Nate. How are you?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing very good, sir. I'm glad you said you were doing good. Usually, people make me nervous when they say they're doing well, and I don't know how to react. So I feel like we're on the same level. You know what I mean, though. It's almost like they're more educated. I'm doing well. I don't know.
Oh yeah, because that's how you're supposed to say it. I don't think I've ever said that in my. I would think that sounds like someone that's sick, and that's what you would say. Like you're kind of on the mend.
Right. Yeah.
I'm doing well.
Yeah. It just makes me nervous sometimes. People, they try to show off their education at you, maybe like that's the proper way to do it. So listen, I'm very excited to talk to you because it seems like it was just yesterday that things were, not as big as they are today. Has your life changed a lot? Tell me how things have changed, other than maybe more money and more people know who you are. It was just a few years ago you were playing smaller clubs, and here we are.
Yeah, I say well now. I did that for you. They're good. I'm in the well crowd, so it's all just gotten. It's just how busy you are is what's kind of changed. Like you're doing stand up, I'm still on the road, and the venues have changed. Obviously, we're doing arenas and going back to clubs, but it's just being how busy you are. Like that's the thing that's changed the most, and so you start prioritizing your time, and you start really. You got to learn how to say no now more than you did. And, I come from a very much say yes, especially as you come up and stand up, you got 20 years of just basically going, yeah, I'll do it. And then, so now you got to kind of really pick and choose what you have time to do.
Right.
And so that's kind of what's changed. What's changed the most. And, as far as stand-up, it's I still love it. I still look at it as the same, and you just try to make it better. And being in these arenas and in the round has made it very fun. I'm also a person that I love how much stuff changes.
Yeah.
I love. I mean, I've loved it since when no one was calling. I always loved that every day you could be like, I don't know what's about to happen.
Right.
And so now it's even on a very high level of you're like, I don't know what kind of call I'm about to get. So I very much enjoy that, and that's kind of fun. And it's very fun, and that's what kind of when you get up every day, you're like, all right, see
right.
what happens.
Let's see what happens. See who I'm talking to today. See what kind of phone call is going to come through today. So you're growing up, your comedy specials are great because you do talk about your family. You talk about personal stuff growing up. Your dad was a magician. Was there any chance that he I don't want to say push you into the family business? I don't know if it's a family business, but was there any chance when you were a younger guy that would have influenced you? Like, what did you think you wanted to become when you were younger?
I think what influenced me is I don't think it was ever attracted to, or I don't think it's the magic of it. I mean, I could see how hard my dad was working doing the magic. So, but my dad did comedy in his magic.
Oh, okay.
That's what stuck out to me. So I very much enjoyed making people laugh, and when I would do shows with him, not that he would have me come out some and help, and you would try to be funny, and we would do stuff at church and all this, and so that was the biggest impact. Was I think making people laugh. I definitely loved that and carried on with that of just always trying to make people laugh, and then. It's like as you come up, you knew about Seinfeld, you knew like the big stand-up comedians. But I don't know. It's like when you're younger and growing up then, it's not like now where you like see it on social media, you see all this kind of stuff. So it took a while to be like, wait, let me try this. And so then when I went down this road, it very much fit very well. But yeah, with the magic, it's just a lot. It's a lot of work.
Sure.
You're kind of doing it all day, and you do that with stand-up too. You're thinking about your jokes all day and how to mold them and all that kind of stuff. But the comedy was what I loved.
The Celebrity Jobber Podcast with Jeff Zito. The Celebrity Jobber Podcast with Jeff Zito.
And I know your latest gig is this new film, The Breadwinner. You've had a lot of other gigs before we get to The Breadwinner, which is where you're at right now, current gig. I mean, you were at Applebee's, you were at Walmart, you were famously a meter reader for a water company. What can you tell me about some of those early jobs and maybe your very first job?
My first job was I worked at Opryland theme park. So we had a theme park in Nashville. So I was that was my first job. I was a sweeper. Kind of swept the park up, and I worked in a dog kennel. And so that was the first job I had. And my dad did shows at Opryland.
Okay.
So it was a very, very Opryland was a very loved place. It closed like when I was in high school, but it was a very cool space. And then the other job, Applebee's, is where I met my wife. We both worked there.
Okay.
And we've been together since then. And water meter reading. I think the door's open there. I can always go back if I need to. So, I got a safety net.
That's good. It's funny. You and Cedric the Entertainer both. He told me a couple of weeks ago that he was an insurance adjuster at State Farm, and he ended up never quitting. So he left the door open. I was like, well, that Jake guy really screwed you over. Like I'd come in and take your job back if I was him. I want to know a little bit about The Breadwinner, Nate, and why this is so different, because I hear it's a different kind of movie, maybe a movie that people aren't used to seeing these days.
Yeah, that's what it is. I don't think it's a movie that it's kind of a throwback movie. So it's a movie that if you're of an age that would have grown up watching movies like this, kind of, the 90s and 2000s, like these kind of types of comedies that you would see. But I do not think that there's been one that's come out in a very long time that is fit in what we're trying to fit this in. And so, I mean, that's the idea of getting people to go out to theaters. And I think there's a thirst for that, and people want to take their families out. You want to go out to a fun movie and laugh and have fun. And it's not a whole thing. I mean, it's fun to go to movies and they're all big and crazy and stuff, but also it's fun to go and just laugh and have fun with your friends. And we're really, that was the point of this movie, to kind of bring it back to make something has not been around in a long time.
Well, I'm excited to see it. I talked to Derek Stroop a few months ago. He was talking about it then, and I'm very, very interested in seeing it. You're a very funny guy. Everybody knows how to pronounce your name now. This is, that's kind of a big deal, don't you think?
Oh, yeah. I've been called Nick. It's crazy. If I can get the whole country to mispronounce my name, because I think we say it wrong.
Right.
So that's the main goal.
That's great. Nate Bargatze, the breadwinner in theaters. Thank you so much for your time, and good luck, man.
Thank you so much.
So a couple of things, we didn't get a lot of time with Nate because, he's a big star. So born in Nashville, Tennessee, from a very Christian household. His father actually studied to be a preacher, but became a magician. His mother worked in the ticket office for the Vanderbilt Commodores. And Nate said that with his dad's magic, there was comedy involved. And that is kind of what got him interested. Nate was a meter reader, and he ended up quitting that job to pursue comedy, which, by the way, his parents were both supportive in that decision, and they attended his very first open mic. But Nate's very first job was at Opryland, he said, which has since closed down. And I think he said he was in high school when Opryland closed down, but he was a sweeper. He also said he worked at a dog kennel there. And then, a few of his jobs, like we mentioned, being a meter reader, working at Walmart, Applebee's. He said that's where he worked when he met his wife. He called the Jerry Seinfeld documentary Comedian life-changing and a big reason why he moved to New York. He spent the early years of his career performing for single-digit crowds, but everything changed. His big break, if you will. Back in 2017, Netflix launched the series The Stand-Ups, and he said that changed everything. There was a significant increase in attendance at his first gig following that episode's release. And now here we are. Bargatze had the highest grossing comedy tour of 2025, according to Billboard's box score rankings, with gross income of $56.7 million from 677,000 tickets sold across his 76 shows. Unbelievable. And his new movie, The Breadwinner, where he plays the role of Nate Wilcox, who's the father of three and has to hold down the fort while his wife, played by Mandy Moore, is on a business trip. Without giving away too much, the premise of the movie reads, after his wife lands a deal on Shark Tank, Nate Wilcox has to become a stay-at-home dad. The Breadwinner, right now in theaters everywhere. And my guest, Nate Bargatze. Great story. Wish I had more time with him. Thanks so much for checking out another episode of the Celebrity Jobber podcast. If you want some bonus content, subscribe to our Substack page, which is substack.com/celebrityjobber, and streaming on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, wherever you listen to podcasts. Please subscribe. Would love a 5-star rating. And if you could, leave a comment/review. Check out all past guests and episodes. You can find them all on celebrityjobber.com. And don't forget to follow on Instagram, celebrity_jobber_podcast, and youtube.com/the @celebrityjobber. Who knows? If Nate didn't take that leap of faith, Faith could still be working as a meter reader at the water company or at Applebee's, where he met his wife. Who knows? Maybe there's some big star working at your job, but didn't get his big break yet. Who knows? Maybe that person is actually you. Thanks again for checking out another episode of the Celebrity Jobber Podcast. And until next week, I'll see you then. I'm Jeff Zito.